Okay, if you were to ask your mom right now, which food did she feed to you as your first food when you were starting Solid Foods, I bet so many of you would answer white rice cereal. And I know you're all still alive and here to talk about it, but you would be surprised how many popular first foods like white rice cereal we actually don't want babies to be eating, especially for their first bites. Hi, I'm Katie Ferraro. I'm a registered dietitian specializing in baby-led weaning. I'm a mom of 7, and I'm here to share that when it comes to the best first foods for babies, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't make it right. Another good piece of mom wisdom, but in this video I'm going to be sharing 5 popular first foods that we actually do not want early eaters to be eating. All right, let's start with the elephant in the baby food aisle, and that is iron fortified white rice cereal. Why? What's wrong with white rice cereal? One word: arsenic. So arsenic is a heavy metal. It causes cancer, but it also is responsible for adverse pregnancy outcomes and neurodevelopmental toxicity. So it's something that we want to avoid in pregnancy and for infants, but it's found in plant foods and you can't get away from it, you can't get rid of it. Rice and rice-based foods are major sources of arsenic, and buying organic rice, it does nothing to lower your risk. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, the best bet is to vary your baby's diet, which means not feeding them the same thing every day, especially white rice cereal. There are lots of foods that naturally contain iron that babies can safely eat. These include foods like eggs and tofu and meats and poultry. Be sure to watch my other video, Will My Baby Get Enough Nutrition with Baby-Led Weaning at 6 months old? There's tons more tips in there about offering naturally occurring sources of iron from foods. So you can do a little bit of rice from time to time for your baby, but please don't go relying on white rice cereal for nutrition anymore. It's just too risky. And as we say in nutrition, particularly infant nutrition, when in doubt, leave it out. Okay, do you recognize these little tiny O-shaped cereals? Okay, you can call them whatever you want, lots of different brand names, tons of marketing messages out there about how these small pieces of cereal are ideal first finger foods. No, they are not. Why? Because early eaters, they don't have their pincer grasp, right? You need that pincer grasp to pick up these really small pieces of food like this in order to self-feed. And we know that babies benefit from practicing with finger foods even from their first bites at 6 and 7 months of age when they don't have their pincer grasp. So research shows that babies who are at elevated risk of choking are those who practice with finger foods the least often. But the appropriate size of finger food for an early eater, it's not super small like this. Okay, babies can't pick these little foods up, right? And even if they could, this is the exact very small size that could potentially occlude your baby's airway. A lot of times another problem with these cereals is that they have added sugar. And again, we don't want any added sugar for children under age 2, not to mention that they are also quite high in sodium. So even if you can find the brand that doesn't have added sugar, there's too much salt. We really want to be minimizing sodium for babies. This is not a great option for early eaters. My general rule of thumb for sodium is to look for less than 100 milligrams of sodium per serving of any packaged food that you're going to offer to your baby. Now, of course, most of the foods that you offer for baby-led weaning are not going to be coming from a package, and of course, your baby's not eating a full adult portion size. But foods this size, you want to wait on these until your baby is older and has developed that pincer grasp. Okay, that's going to come later, 8, 9, sometimes 10 months of age. They've experimented with lots of different textures by then. But early on, start with those longer, safer strips of food shaped about the size of your adult pinky finger before moving on to small-sized foods. These are not ideal first foods for babies. Next up, raw apples. Wait, I thought apples were an ideal food for kiddos, okay? Maybe for older kids, but even then, if you look at emergency department admission data for non-fatal choking incidences in children, you will find so many references to raw apples. They're not safe, especially for early eaters. Okay, so are you saying then, Katie, that my baby can't have any apples? No, I'm not saying that at all. Really, almost all foods, especially those on my 100 First Foods list, can always be prepared in a manner that is safe for babies to eat, including apples. Okay, but we don't offer any raw, crunchy, or crispy foods for early eaters, including apples. Here's how I do apples for baby-led weaning, and this works for babies age 6 months and older. For apples, I slice the apples, I core the apples, I peel the apples, and then I poach the apple strips in a little bit of water until they're fork tender. And then you can season them if you want with cinnamon or nutmeg or nothing, okay? All you have to do is be sure that these cooked apples pass the squish test. And that's when there's some give. When I press the apple, the cooked apple, between my finger and my thumb, and there's a little bit of give, this is a safe texture to offer to your baby. If you keep cooking past that fork tender stage with the baby-led weaning apples, it turns into applesauce. And as long as there's no added sugar in there, that's no problem. You can put that applesauce on a pre-loaded spoon and let the baby self-feed, and that works great for baby-led weaning as well. So I don't want you to be scared off of apples entirely. Just please make sure that you're prepping them properly so that they're safe for your baby to eat. Okay, another no-go for babies are thick globs of nut butters. Now, why would you give a baby a thick glob of peanut butter, let's say? Well, it's because there's new research and updated guidance that supports the early introduction of peanuts in order to help prevent peanut allergy down the road. But here's the deal. Babies don't have the strength to safely clear sticky nut butters from the roof or the sides of their mouth. And this presents a huge choking risk, especially for your early eaters. So then how do you safely introduce peanuts to babies? Well, there's lots of ways to do it. You can do thinned out peanut butter. We start with unsalted, unsweetened, smooth peanut butter, never the chunky stuff, that's a choking hazard. And then you can thin that peanut butter with really anything. I like to use unsweetened applesauce, or you can do breast milk or formula. You can use full-fat whole milk yogurt too if you want. You just want to make sure your baby's had cow's milk protein a number of times on its own without any reaction before trying this, if it's also the first time you're going to be introducing peanut. The key here is to make sure that the mixed or thinned out peanut butter is so thin that it easily slides off the adult spoon. Okay, that's the way that I know it's thin enough not to get stuck on the roof of the baby's mouth. You want to offer that thinned out peanut butter off of a preloaded spoon. Let your baby self-feed to try the peanut protein, which again is going to help prevent peanut or lower peanut allergy risk down the road. Okay, depending upon the other ingredients that your baby has already had before, you could also create simple little recipes using peanut flour. Okay, stay away from those defatted peanut powders though, the ones that are made for like adult diet foods. A lot of times they have added sugars or artificial sweeteners, both of which are inappropriate for babies. Okay, so I don't know, but personally for me, peanut butter is like not my favorite food. It's not my favorite way to introduce peanut to babies either because I can't stand how messy and sticky it is. So I like to use peanut butter puffs as a way to introduce baby to peanut protein. I love the baby peanut puffs from a company called Puffworks. They make these Puffworks baby peanut puffs. They have no added sugar and just a smidge of sodium for preservative, plus they're the softest peanut puff on the market. You put a couple of these puffs in your baby's bowl. They're the perfect size for baby-led weaning. That's the piece of food about the size of your adult pinky finger. Your baby can pick up the Puffworks peanut butter puffs and feed them to themselves, a totally no stress, low mess way to introduce peanut. If you guys want to check out Puffworks Baby Peanut Puffs, I am an affiliate for them. My discount code BABY-LED will get you a discount if you head to puffworks.com. With Puffworks, be sure to get their baby peanut product. They do have other adult products, but again, it's the Puffworks Baby Peanut Puffs that you want to get a case or two, and it's such an easy way to introduce that all-important peanut protein to your baby. Okay, here is a food that really gets my goat, and it's baby food yogurt or baby yogurt. Why? Okay, babies don't need baby yogurt because babies can eat regular yogurt. Okay, not fruited yogurt with added sugar. Okay, not reduced fat or non-fat or low-fat yogurt, but whole milk, so meaning full-fat yogurt that is plain, meaning it's unsweetened. Okay, unsweetened means there's no added sugars, and no, vanilla is not okay because vanilla means that it has added sugar. We're looking for plain, full-fat, whole milk, unsweetened yogurt. It's the perfect way to introduce your baby to the potentially allergenic food, cow's milk. But if you go to the yogurt aisle, you will see baby yogurt. Okay, and you know what's in baby yogurt? It's just regular yogurt with added sugar. No joke. You guys, the American Academy of Pediatrics and every credentialed feeding professional worth their salt will tell you we don't do any added sugars in any foods that we offer to babies before age 2. Okay, and then even after age 2, it's still a really good idea to limit it. So you don't need to buy special yogurts. And why do manufacturers put added sugar in baby yogurt? Well, because A, they're gonna bank on you not reading the label. You just see baby yogurt, you think, oh, my baby needs to have this. But B, sweetened foods taste better. Okay, babies are humans. Humans are hardwired to prefer sweet foods. And parents will say, oh, my baby loves that brand of baby yogurt. And guess what? They keep buying it and buying it and buying it. But also, your baby will love plain old boring yogurt, which, by the way, costs significantly less per ounce than the sugar-sweetened baby yogurts. So this one is kind of a no-brainer. Skip the baby yogurt. It's a total marketing ploy because babies can eat regular yogurt. Okay, so I'm having trouble stopping at 5 popular first foods that you don't want to feed your baby. So far, we've done rice cereal. We've done the little tiny pieces of cereal that we know that babies cannot pick up on their own. We've talked a little bit about raw apples and why they're not safe. Thick globs of nut butters and why we don't serve those. And then baby yogurt, steer clear. But I want to throw in a bonus here, okay? If you're looking for another food to take out of your shopping cart, get rid of the baby teething crackers. I don't know how, but teething crackers have worked their way into the parental psyche as being like this thing that parents think their baby needs to eat somehow to ease the pain of the teething process. Here's the deal with teething. It's a 3+ year long thing, okay? Manufacturers want to hook you on buying a special teething cracker for as long as possible. But teething crackers, or rusks or baby biscuits, they're rough, they're hard. Historically, they've been thought to ease or give relief to itchy gums. But here's the deal with that type of hard textured food. We're not supposed to offer hard or crunchy or crispy foods to early eaters. They can be a choking hazard, okay? Your baby does not biologically need a teething cracker in order to tolerate teething pain, okay? Plus, a lot of these products have added sugar and added salt, or they're made with refined white rice cereal or white flour. There's a lot of healthier options. When your baby's teeth are erupting, you actually don't have to alter the diet in any way. Some babies may prefer colder textures to hot foods when they're teething, but please don't get sucked into thinking that you need to buy any special foods or gear or medicine for teething. Okay, there's actually a lot of dangerous teething remedies out there. One of the biggest ones being that I want to mention is honey pacifiers. Sometimes these are sold as a remedy to soothe teething pain, but babies under age 1 should never be offered honey as it has the potential to cause botulism. And actually in 2018, there were 10 confirmed or suspected infant botulism cases traced back to the use of honey pacifiers. So be sure to subscribe here on this channel for lots of videos on all of the foods that your baby can eat. I do have a list of 15 foods never to feed your baby. This is a free download that you can grab from the link that's in the description below where you're watching this video. I'm going to run through 15 foods you don't want to feed your baby with some more education about why we want to steer clear of these foods.